Okay, Thunder controllers, listen up. Give me a go, no go for launch. Starting with ground zero.
Go.
Barge A.
Go.
Barge B.
Go.
Bridge.
Go.
Light out.
We're go.
System lock.
We're go.
Control.
Go.
Audio.
Go.
F-15 aircraft.
We are go.
Recovery.
Go.
Safe out.
We're go.
Netcom.
Go.
TC.
I'm good to go.
Launch control, this is Thunder Command. We are go for launch.
Don't get anything to green.
Flash Gordon in range, Captain.
speak for hours?
Of course not.
Would you be livid if I had a drink or two?
Nonsense.
Would you be wounded if I never sent you flowers?
Never.
Well, why can't a woman be like you?
mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
excited, and they will come. I'm going to tell you.
We are looking at all these smiling faces. People are applauding.
We had ear things on and couldn't even hear to speak.
We can still barely hear. That is wonderful, and we want to tell you, as you look at all these people who are still applauding, there they go.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you enjoy Thunder?
Yes, they did enjoy Thunder. You should have seen the looks on the faces down here on the Belvedere. It was really something. And I tell you, people did not take their eyes off of this. Gary, we were talking in meetings earlier this week, and people describe Thunder as beginning with a finale, having a finale somewhere in the middle, having a false finale near the end, and then really a
What it really is,
bang.
though, you had to be here and feel the Belvedere shake. It is a sensory experience. It's almost, it's almost frightening. And, oh, speaking of frightening, Barry Burnson was on the 2nd Street Bridge when it went up. Barry? Barry? Barry?
Ow! 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 Oh, it was hot. It was hot up here. It was explosive. It was thunderous. It was rockets, red glare, bursting in air. I want to come back again next year.
It is great. Thank you.
Wonderful.
And we should tell people at the very beginning, or maybe more in the center, you saw congratulations, happy 50th, Connie and George. That is the patriarch of the Zambelli family, and they are celebrating. Connie and George are the mother and father of all the Zambellis, and they are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. We couldn't say anything to you about what to expect because it was a surprise to them from their family.
That's what we call just a small celebration in their behalf.
Yeah, that's right. Your name and lights.
Well, people are walking away now, headed on that long trip home. But before we go, let's go to Terry Miners. Hi, Terry. What you think?
Unbelievable, as always. And here's Wayne Hettinger. Tim Creed, good show again, fellas.
Thank you very much, Terry.
Tim, very good. Champagne time now. They've been waiting on this for a while here. All right, bottoms up. Hey, congratulations, Thunder. I've got an empty cup. Salute, everybody. Hey! I can't drink on the job anyway. And, folks, remember, start making your reservations for next year. 363 days, 23 hours, 30 minutes, 26 seconds, and we'll see you again.
And we will see you.
But our job continues here. We have 2 more full hours of Thunder coverage to follow.
Right.
We'll be following all the travelings home that are coming up right away here. And you can see people beginning to leave the Belvedere and the riverfront right now. So now the next big story of the night begins.
And we will be here until midnight to bring you the aftermath of Thunder over Louisville. Stay tuned.
Stay with us as live coverage of Thunder 96 continues.
Thunder over Louisville and the opening ceremonies of the 1996 Kentucky Derby Festival was sponsored by the Kroger Company, always on the cutting edge. By Tyson Holly Farms, Weir Chicken. By UPS, moving at the speed of business. By Lewis Rich, get rich, Lewis Rich. And by Coca-Cola, always refreshing, always Coca-Cola. This evening's coverage of Thunder over Louisville has been an exclusive production of WHAS 11.
What's he got that I ain't got?
He's probably got a big Buford.
Look at the size of that thing.
Yeah, it's a third of a pound. 2 beef patties, double cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, onions, the works.
You like him big, huh?
It's not the size, it's the taste. Stupid.
Taste, 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 taste.
Problem. You could have used some better advice on your last outdoor project, not to mention better lumber. Solution? Go to Lowe's. Because Lowe's experts can show you the right way to complete any outdoor project. With free computer deck design, the finest lumber, and brand name tools, Lowe's has everything you need to get the job done right. Plus, nobody beats Lowe's prices, guaranteed. So, to really get a jump on your next outdoor project, go to Lowe's. Because Lowe's knows outdoor projects.
I hear something big's happening.
Something so big I can't even talk about it.
You can tell me.
Smith's Furniture is having the biggest truckload sale ever.
Take me.
Now!
No, to the sale.
GE 25-inch stereo TV, only $277. Frigidaire extra large capacity 5-cycle washer, $369. Hotpoint by GE 18 cubic foot refrigerator, only $399.
Big rig coming through, make way!
Make your way to Smith's Furniture's truckload sale, going on now.
Your official Derby 122 station, WHAS 11. Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11, presents exclusive live coverage of Thunder over Louisville.
A spectacular display of lights over Kentuckiana's waterfront. You have just watched Thunder over Louisville, the biggest fireworks show this town has ever seen.
It was awesome. And now many people are heading home. It is time for the traffic jams to begin. You can see it down there already, the car lights, and Thunder's only been over highways heading home. Good evening, everyone. I'm Melissa Swan.
And I'm Gary Rodemeyer, and once again, the News Channel, continuous coverage of Thunder over Louisville. We're greeting you tonight from the Belvedere overlooking the 4th Street Wharf, and it has been some day and some night here on the Ohio riverfront.
So far, perfect. 28 minutes of incredible fireworks. Began with kind of a finale and then ended with something that you felt like the Belvedere was going to fall over.
In fact, it's still shaking, folks.
It was great, but now it's time to pack everything up and head home, and as you know from years past, that takes a while. It'll take far longer than 28 minutes for most of the people to get out to their cars and home tonight. So let's go to our Chuck Olmstead. We have Sky 11 up, and we want to find out what's happening down on the highways.
Well, Melissa, you said it'd take a while, it'd take a lot of gas, too. Let's take a look down at the Spaghetti Junction area. You can see that ribbon of headlights indicating the big show is over and now for the drive, or maybe we should say the long wait as we make their way to inch home. I see traffic departing, heading toward 71 as well as southbound 65. Actually, it's going at a pretty good clip as you look down below. You're looking now at southbound and northbound 65. The bridges are moving relatively brisk as well. The real problem will be getting to your automobile and making your way on the small streets over. There's one word we would tell people, and that's simply patience. You had a great show, you had a great time. Take your time. Expect there's going to be a little bit of a delay. As we look now heading towards the Belvedere at downtown Louisville, and the slow exit of lights indicating people have had a great show, and now we're heading back home. Of course, we'll be giving you more looks and more spots in terms of real major delays as the hour goes on. But that's the scene here live aboard Sky 11. Back to you.
That's Chuck Olmstead. Now, there are two ways to approach this. You can either get in your car and rush, as many people you saw doing, and head home. Or you can sit down here on the riverfront and enjoy one more soft drink and eat the rest of the food.
And you might as well.
And you might as well, because, folks, it's a long ride home. Now, among those, and you can look at the street scene from downtown right now, among those headed home is our intrepid Jean West, who brought her 3 children and her husband down, and somewhere out in the traffic, Jean is on a car phone. Hi, Jean.
Hi, Gary. We haven't quite made the car yet. Your idea about maybe stopping somewhere in Heaven Street might be a good one. We're on the top level of the Belvedere, and we just left the compound where you guys are broadcasting from. There is a sea of humanity that is now kind of bottlenecked getting from the top layer to the second layer near the fountains, and we're slowly making our way into what used to be the ice skating rink. So I'm still on foot pushing a carriage with a very crazy 3-year-old and 2 kids following. So we'll check back with you as we make progress to the car.
What's amazing to me here is, as Jean was just saying, it's taking a while for her to walk to the car. It's amazing that all of these other people have sprinted apparently to their cars, and you can see a lot of them are out on the highway and heading home already, although there's a good crowd now walking back downtown.
Right.
It's going to take a while for folks to walk back to some of the parking garages here. And but I can't imagine that they would have left early and missed the grand finale, because
I hope they didn't.
The grand finale is what Thunder is all about, folks.
And it was incredible. You just think that it can't get any better than this, and then it does, and it does some more. So
I don't think we had any people like those out at Dodger Stadium that leave in the 7th inning. You leave in the 7th inning of Thunder, and you miss a lot, right?
You certainly do.
Bridgecam captured the crowds that were farming along the riverfront all day. It's been a great help to us, and this is a look at the crowds that began to gather earlier today. That's about 600,000 people. So this is a little bit of a time lapse from Bridgecam, as you can see, and the massive humanity farmed along the river. The Bridgecam is new to this year's Thunder over Louisville. We installed it over the winter, and it's one of our permanent fixtures along the riverfront. You'll see.
I guess it's still there.
Yes. Well, Burnson made it through on the 2nd Street Bridge. I suppose that it would have been Bridgecam would have. Barry, you did make it through out there. How's your hearing?
What? It was very loud out here. You know, it was 600,003 because, well, or we're 600,040 anyway, because the contingent from Fort Knox was here. Who are you, sir?
Lieutenant Morgan.
And what's the unit?
We're elements of Alpha 84th Field Artillery, 4th Squadron, 16th Cavalry Regiment from Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Well, I wish I didn't have to memorize that. Now, you guys are from Louisville. Who are you?
Yes, sir. My name is Lamont Butler, Sergeant Butler.
And what about you?
Sergeant Samuel Smith, sir.
Now, Sergeant Smith, show me how you load this howitzer and how you scared all those people on the riverfront.
Yes, sir. Come down here, get them a rock, get it loaded in, get it seated. Once it's seated, the #1 man closes it, waits for the chief stands by.
And then he signals you and you pull the
#1, pop.
Gotcha. Except it was much louder before. Now, fellas, you got to help me out here because I'm up much later than my regular bedtime. So on the count of 3, we're going to do it, okay? Right. 1, 2, 3.
Good morning, Kentuckiana!
That may be prophetic.
This is Michael Richards. He's with Zambelli International. And your job, of course, is to be the wild man who lights the wick, as it were, right?
Yes, sir.
I guess you get a trifle nervous before this show starts every year, huh?
I make a lot of steps around this command center.
First off, assure us, this is the biggest show in, is it North America, the world, outer space, where?
It's without a doubt the largest show in North America.
North America,
yes,
okay.
Sir.
And your place is based near Pittsburgh.
Newcastle, Pennsylvania.
Okay, we're waiting for you to move the world headquarters here to Louisville sometime.
We may do that, you never know.
Okay, Michael, how did everything go tonight?
It was an incredible night. It was a great turnout. You guys ordered great weather for us, and it's just nice to be back here.
Very good. If you wouldn't mind, I have to ask you, since you're the fireworks king, would you hold up all 10 fingers? We want to see them.
Got
they
them
are
all.
there. Unbelievable. He is an expert. He's a professional. Don't try this at home, as they say. And we'll see you next year, of course.
Thank you.
And
yes,
it's got to be bigger.
Absolutely.
That means 2 or 3 more canisters, and shoot a few more people out of cannons, and 2 guys hanging on helicopters.
At least 2 or 3.
Okay, Michael, congratulations.
Thank you.
Beautiful show. That's Michael Richards with Zambelli International. Back to you.
And I am not sure how they would top it. It was spectacular.
One thing they told us right before the show when we were in our briefing, and that was they bought a few extra fireworks this year. But when they buy them, they buy great big ones. So they make huge noise.
Look at those lights down there.
Yeah, folks who watch the fireworks got a good view of them along the Kentucky shoreline, and a few of those Kentucky folks are headed home at this hour, and we find our Lisa Chiava still along the shoreline. Anybody left down there, Lisa?
Hi, Gary. I tell you what, take a look at how already the crowd is cleared out. I don't know if you can see because it's pretty dark, but there's just a lot of garbage there. We do have a crowd waiting here for us because they see the TV cameras, and they've been wanting to rate the show for us. Okay, guys, here's your big chance. How was the fireworks show? Okay, I'm gonna translate that from the crowd scream. That they rated that a 10. Everyone's going to be really busy on their way home, getting their way home. Where are you headed, and how long is it going to take you?
I'm going to Berrytown, and it's probably going to take about an hour and a half.
And how long would it normally take?
Probably about 15 to 20 minutes.
Do you have any secrets of getting home? Any special way, back route?
I just say just be patient.
Really
Go with the
patient.
flow.
Okay.
Yeah, just go with the flow.
All right. And what was your favorite part of the fireworks show?
The grand finale.
The grand finale?
Yeah.
You all gonna be back next year? Yeah! Okay, so people have a lot to talk about on their long ride home. They're gonna review the fireworks show, and you know, since it's an election year, maybe vote for their favorite parts. Gary, Melissa?
Thank you very much, Lisa Kiawa. You are looking right now live at 2nd and Liberty Street. Looks a little bit like Mardi Gras.
Or Times Square on New Year's Eve.
That cannot be Louisville, Kentucky, but yes, indeed, it is right after Thunder over Louisville. Everyone trying to make it to their car.
There's going to, and if you notice, they're leaving a few things on the ground behind. It looks like there's going to be a little bit of a cleanup down here on the riverfront by tomorrow morning.
You know, you never can see those fireworks too often throughout the show until midnight. We're going to be showing you what we call chunks of the fireworks show. So here's some more. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. We'll have the traffic, and we'll have the highlights after this.
Dateline, May 8th, 1995. It was a road Bob Howard did not want to go down, teaching his son Bart how to drive. But now it was too late. He was strapped in, and it was time for a left-hand turn smack dab into insurance premiums. Bob Howard, you're brave. And WHAS chicken! Tyson Holly Farms has always stood for all natural, fresh chicken. Nobody does more with chicken. Nobody! You want a fresh, lean bird? You want legs or breasts? You got 'em. So, Bob Howard, you may be brave, but at Tyson Holly Farms, WHAS chicken!
There's an elite group of men and women who give far more to Kentuckiana than they will ever receive in return. Night and day, they put themselves in harm's way. Not for money, not for glory, but because they chose to serve. They are the peacekeepers, and they wear a badge of honor. The Derby Festival asks you to thank a cop.
Folks, 3 days. That means there's 3 days left to make an offer for fine furniture here at Henderson Hardy Furniture Center.
Folks, we are frantically trying to sell off all remaining inventory, and we're accepting offers left and right from people who have traveled from near and far. Bring your truck or U-Haul and we'll load it up for you. 3 days left to name your own price. No reasonable offer refused. Come see us at Henderson and Hardy Fine Furniture. We're at the Shepherdsville exit 117 off I-65, just 14 miles south of Louisville International. This is your last chance to save. Only 3 days left to Henderson and Hardy. Don't miss this fabulous going out of business sale.
Where does soup start at most restaurants? A can. Frisch's Big Boy vegetable soup starts in their kettles with homemade broth, slow simmered for 6 hours. Then they add white pepper, barley, spices, and lots of veggies, carrots, beans, fresh chopped onions, all in a big steaming bowl, not a big, ugly can. Dinner is better at Big Boy because Big Boy starts with better stuff.
What's going on?
Yeah, it's the Ford guys. They're starting that Great American Sales event again.
Oh, no. They're marking everything down. Taurus, F-150.
It's going to be a long month.
Your Ford dealer is driving the competition crazy with up to $2,000 cash back and low 2.9 financing. Special lease offers mean low monthly payments.
Remember last year? We had 3 customers all month.
Yeah, and one of them was my mother.
Hurry, see your local Ford dealer today.
You're watching exclusive live coverage of Thunder over Louisville on Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11.
Welcome back to our exclusive coverage of Thunder over Louisville. And you're looking at the folks on their way home now. This is Bridge Cam. We're looking at the riverfront, and now a little bit of downtown Louisville where the folks are making their way back to the parking garage, and most of them wandering around aimlessly with their hearing slightly impaired. Folks just stood in awe of the fireworks on both sides of the river tonight. The finale was absolutely ear-splitting.
And there you see downtown Louisville. Across the river is our Julie Koenig in Jeffersonville, and she's going to tell us how did the people like it over there, Julie. I'm sure they were loving it like the people over here were.
Oh, it's an incredible show. We have reassembled some of our Thunder Watchers, the junior members of the crowd here. We're going to get their reaction. What did you guys think? What was the best part?
I'd say the bridge. It was incredible.
What do you think?
I liked it all.
What did you like?
I liked the same thing as he did.
How about you, Alexander?
I liked,
It was all great. He's just speechless. I also found two of the smallest critics on the ship. This is Lexi, and this is William. Hey, William, what was great about the fireworks?
Good. They're good.
Very good, very good. And Lexi, what did you like?
Good.
You see, they're just overwhelmed. And by the way, these two have struck up something of a romance. Now, he is this many, she's this many. Maybe by Thunder 2010, we'll have another wedding up on the 2nd Street Bridge. Back to you guys.
Ready. Tell them we want the exclusive wedding coverage, Julie. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Julie. Well, all eyes turning now from the fireworks to the ride home, and it's going to be an extended ride home for a lot of people tonight.
All right, Chuck Olmstead has been in Sky 11 during the day and now during the night to help get you home. Chuck?
Well, that's one of those little problems that we have, one of those little episodes called No Audio from Chuck Olmstead in Sky 11. But we can assure you the traffic is beginning to pick up in downtown Louisville as people make their way onto the interstates and start to head home. Some of them will probably not get home until Sunday morning. That is 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning. But
it is moving out there.
Keep at it, folks.
I remember years in the past when it wasn't even moving, so maybe we're making some progress
What
here.
a beautiful shot of the skyline. I'm just enthralled by the entire downtown scene tonight. We'll be back with more coverage of Thunder over Louisville in just a moment. Stay with us, folks.
In Kentucky, on the first Saturday in May, there is a crowning moment. It comes when the newest member of thoroughbred royalty is presented a glorious garland of 554 prime red roses. Kroger, celebrating our 10th anniversary of crafting the garland of roses.
Excuse me? What would make you change banks?
Me?
Yeah.
Free ATM. After all, it's my money in the bank. Why should a bank charge me extra? Is that like the price of convenience? Come here. Is there a little bank teller inside that machine whose salary I'm paying? I don't think so. I use an ATM. It ought to be free. ATM, F-R-E. Free.
Well, if you open a checking account at Great Financial Bank, you can use any ATM anywhere, absolutely free.
We'll see you later.
Great Financial Bank. It's that simple.
Coach, what do you think? Son, it's not what you look like or how big you are. It's what you got deep down inside. You can't see it. It's hidden. But believe me, it's there. I made the team. No, not a chance. I was talking about this pizza.
The new triple-decker pizza from Pizza Hut, hidden inside two thin crusts, is a 6-cheese blend for a huge cheese taste. Call 203-5555 for free delivery in Metro Louisville.
The American Impressions Collection from Ethan Allen. Just because you don't have a lot of money to throw around doesn't mean you have to live with disposable furniture. Right now, there's a sale going on at your local Ethan Allen.
If you care enough about your car to equip it with the accessories you enjoy and the protection you need, bring it to Seabart Tidy Car during their Spring Fever sale.
Complete interior or exterior cleaning and renewal, just $99.95. Save on Seabart window tint, now $25 off.
Get Z-Bart abrasion-resistant undercoating now just $99.95.
Z-Bart Tidy Car, because it's more than transportation. It's your car.
And welcome back, everyone, to our exclusive coverage of Thunder over Louisville. What we are covering for you now is that mass of humanity trying to get a home tonight.
That's why the streets aren't crowded. Everybody's walking home.
That's right. You saw just a little bit earlier 31,000 fireworks exploding into the sky over the city of Louisville. I'm telling you, it was spectacular. This is the first time I've seen it in person, and it was very, very impressive. In fact, that's 2,000 more than they had down here last year. So every year, as they say, it does get bigger and it does get better.
This is what we call a setup. Okay. We're going to replay 1 minute of the show. And if you didn't see it, it's quite a sight. So turn up the surround sound in your home theater and let her fly.
And vibrate. And throughout the rest of our program until midnight, we'll be showing you more of the incredible fireworks display that we all saw down here on the Belvedere this evening. Someone who's been keeping an eye on the weather, and we have to thank him or someone. I don't know who exactly is responsible for all this, or the weather madness.
Chuck, thanks a lot.
It's been great.
Well, it has. I think the weather has been almost as spectacular as the fireworks. And beautiful day today. We officially topped out at 76. Winds were a problem for a while, but they dropped off. And now, for the drive home tonight, it looks like we don't have to worry about any showers or thunderstorms. There have been a few isolated storms near the Tennessee border, but those won't be bothering us. So our forecast for the trip home tonight, clear skies and mild temperatures with readings mostly in the low 60s. And right now it is officially 63 degrees, humidity 54%, and those winds are quite light out of the west at 7. And around the region tonight, it is fair and comfortably cool. So a super day, and it looks like, Gary and Melissa, the weather tomorrow will start to go downhill with a chance of a few more thunderstorms.
Thank you very much, Chuck.
Yeah, well, there have been a lot of wonderful things happening in the air over downtown Louisville, but just about everything that's left right now is, there it is, the moon, a crescent moon, and a beautiful sight here, captured by one of our cameras, and
just a silver slip of a moon, isn't it?
Just kind of adds the old punctuation mark as the as the teeming crowd
Yeah,
heads for
Tennessee
home.
Williams would have loved that moon. Look at those cars, though. I don't know anybody who can deal with it. You really have to have a good attitude about the traffic after thunder. You know it's going to be there. You know you're going to sit and wait for a long, long time. But we're here to show you all of it. Maybe you'll be glad this evening that you've been at home.
And we'll be back with more coverage post-thunder and current traffic.
Who says the world has changed? Summer is still way too short. The first day of school is still way too long. But somehow, it's not so bad when you have your favorite bologna sandwich. Oscar Mayer.
You got bologna? Me too.
Quality beef, no fillers. Shouldn't your kids grow up with Oscar Mayer?
It's Bedroom Value Days at Schmidt Furniture, New Albany. Save on the area's largest selection from the nation's better brand name bedroom furniture. Collections by Sumner, Mobile, Lexington, Pulaski, Tell City, and many others. Select from your favorite styles in cherry, oak, maple, brass, and wrought iron. Schmidt Bedroom Value Days include savings on quality bedding by Restonic, Serta, and Jameson. Great savings, convenient terms, and free delivery within home placement.
We're the affordable furniture store, Schmidt Furniture. On the furniture corner of State and Main in New Albany.
You know, nothing beats a great cheeseburger, except maybe a great cheeseburger for just 99 cents.
Introducing Wendy's new 99-cent quarter-pound double stack. It's got everything that makes a cheeseburger great. Plus 2 patties of fresh beef served hot off the grill. The 99-cent quarter-pound double stack. It's a stack of beef for a little price, and it's only on Wendy's 99-cent super value menu.
If you love beef, this one really stacks up.
'Cause you're a part of me, that's the heart of me. Without you, I am just a lonely melody. Dr. Pepper, you're a part of me.
Dr. Pepper is giving away 100 exciting new Dodge Ram pickups, along with thousands of other prizes in the country music matchup game. To play, look for specially marked packages of Dr. Pepper, and you could end up picking up some pickup.
Fall City Electric in Jeffersonville invites you to celebrate the lights of spring with savings like these. 20% off our already discounted prices on selected ceiling fans, 15% off selected landscape lighting, 25% off selected chandeliers, 20% off selected bathroom fixtures, 30% off selected table lamps, and 25% off selected exterior house lights. Save now on the lights of spring at Fall City Electric. At Fall City Electric, we bring your home to light.
And welcome back, everyone. There you're looking at the 2nd Street Bridge. That is one of 2 Godzillas that they had up there on the 2nd Street Bridge today. And I didn't let my little one come to see Thunder over Louisville. I thought she was a little young not to have her mom be able to hold her hand through the entire thing. But I drove her through downtown Louisville, and she thought she'd seen it because she saw the banners with the planes, and she saw the 2nd Street Bridge with those 2 huge structures. So she was very happy.
Good for Mariana. Well, as you indicated, the first wave of folks is headed out of downtown right now, and our Lawrence Smith is out there right in the middle of them. Lawrence?
Well, Gary, what we have here at the corner of 4th and Broadway is the case of the irresistible force versus the immovable object. The irresistible force being the waves of people moving north away from the riverfront, and the immovable objects being the traffic moving east and west here on Broadway. But I must say, it is moving rather well. Not much more than a regular rush hour traffic. The volume is very high, but police are keeping a very good lid on this as far as keeping the traffic moving. One thing I've learned being out here tonight is traffic officers have to have attitude. They let these people know they are in charge, and if you ignore a whistle or a stop sign, they severely reprimand you. But we'll be here throughout the evening keeping track of what's going on here at 4th and Broadway as the people move north, the traffic moves east and west. Right now, let's go up to Chuck Olmstead, live in Sky 11 with a bird's eye view. Chuck?
When there's a driver from Georgia driving 18-wheeler, thinking he'd be able to get through Louisville and head to wherever he's going, and boom, he ran into this. Let's take a look now at some of the traffic. Probably the biggest traffic jam, River Road. I don't know if it's really a traffic jam. It's more like a traffic stall altogether because there's really no movement here. Other roads, 65 southbound, we saw some expected delays. Things going pretty well on 64 as well as 71. But right now, the biggest delays, those who came the closest to see the fireworks, now paying a small price for having had such a great view if they didn't watch it here on Channel 11. I don't think any of these folks are going to go anywhere for at least an hour. Not a good time to be running near empty, I don't think. But certainly a night well worth the delays. Most people should count on at least a half hour extra in getting back home. And the real trick, just make sure you get home safely. That's the scene here up in the air. Back to you.
Yeah, I think we're seeing our first signs of real gridlock here. We have a little bit of personal experience in this, in that we have worked downtown and done an 11 o'clock newscast on the Saturday Night of Thunder. And generally at midnight, once we get off from work, we can't even get out of the parking lot. So midnight is really an early exodus. If you get home by midnight from Thunder over Louisville, you're really doing well, because many times we couldn't even get out onto the street at 11:45 and 12 o'clock, and getting home was like at least 1 o'clock in the morning.
But you know, the reason they all came down here, I think they'd say it was worth it. It was for Thunder over Louisville, incredible fireworks. And as we go to break one more time, we're going to show you just a little portion of what those people saw tonight. Stay tuned.
The Olympic Games, celebrating the notion that it truly is a small world. Unless, of course, you're UPS, bringing things to the games in Atlanta from every corner of that small world. Every day, we serve over 200 countries and territories, speak 43 languages, and deliver overnight to a world that still measures 25,000 miles around. Oh, we are all one big family. It's just that the family is a little spread out. UPS, worldwide Olympic sponsor.
I'd like your quarter-pound double cheeseburger made fresh, hot off the grill, with 2 patties of fresh beef.
Quarter-pound double cheese, check.
Pickles and onions with mustard and ketchup, all for 99 cents.
All for 99 cents. Oh, wait, this is a gag, right? Hey, Jack, is that you? Very funny. Come on around. You're late for work.
Wendy's is the only place you can get the quarter-pound double stack. 2 patties of fresh beef, hot off the grill, plus cheese and toppings, all for just 99 cents. Great with fries and a drink on our 99-cent super value menu.
It's everything you'd expect from Wendy's.
It's time for another Great American Ford Sales Event update. I can't believe they're doing it again. Now you can get up to $1,000 cash back on Ford Escort. Use the $1,000 as your down payment. Escort is priced hundreds less than Neon.
They're not doing it again. They're doing it again.
The 5th annual Great American Ford Sales Event is making the competition pretty worried.
Can't believe they're doing it again.
Don't miss out on your local Ford dealer's first big spring sales event. Save on your new Ford today.
Do you feel lucky? Well, do ya? If you do, be sure to enter this year's Derby Festival Bass Fishing Classic. There's over $8,000 in prize money, plus a cash award for the biggest bass. It's gonna go down at Cox's Park on Sunday, April 28th. Get your entry form at any Dairy Mart store or area bait and tackle shop. I knew you were gonna ask that. No, I'm not entering. The judges take a dim view of some of my radical bass fishing techniques.
You are watching exclusive live coverage of Thunder over Louisville on Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11.
Good evening once again from downtown. We continue our wire-to-wire coverage of Thunder over Louisville, and it's going to be a long time before these people cross the finish line. This is Gridlock on 3rd Street in downtown Louisville. Those are folks sitting with their lights on, and maybe not even with their motors running. There's a little movement there.
Right there,
but
very
not
little bit.
much. And this is the way it's going to be going home tonight, 10:35, and we expect it's going to be well into the morning hours before downtown is cleared out. But all for a great civic celebration. Thunder over Louisville once again lived up to every expectation here.
Certainly did. It thundered the downtown area and also southern Indiana. They've got some gridlock over in southern Indiana as well. But where the people used to be on this side of the river here in Kentucky, our Lisa Chiava still is. Lisa, they really did cut and run out of that place, didn't they?
They really boogied right to their cars, and what they've left behind is a lot of garbage. You know, you have a party with 600,000 people, you're going to expect to have some garbage. Some of them left behind some lawn chairs. They didn't want to lug it to their cars. I can't say that I blame them, but most of the garbage they left here tonight is just that. It's just junk. It's stuff nobody wants, and it's overflowing the trash cans, and it's littering the street. An old bucket and a chair that didn't quite make it. pretty much a garden variety of every possible piece of garbage imaginable down here that's left behind, and the crowds have hightailed it out of here. Street crews are going to be very busy tonight. They're going to have a lot of work to do, but it is amazing every year how quickly they work and how easily by tomorrow morning that most of this will be gone. Earlier tonight, just a few moments ago, we spoke with some Louisville police officers, and the unofficial word is that they only made about 6 or 7 arrests tonight. The Louisville police telling us they had a very easy night. So a record crowd, some 600,000 people, the rough estimate, and the unofficial word from Louisville police is only 6 or 7 arrests. So traffic cops are going to have a harder detail, and certainly the city crews cleaning up this mess are going to have it tougher than the police had it earlier tonight. Gary, Melissa?
Thank you, Lisa. That's really incredible, considering 600,000 people plus were here on both sides of the river to see this, and Louisville police made 6 or 7 arrests.
That was the word. That was
really
the word we got from police earlier tonight. Was that they were very, very happy with the crowd, and it was a happy crowd.
Right.
And
people should be very happy.
Not at all ugly.
Yes, and I think the cities involved should be very happy that this many people can come together for this kind of event and behave themselves. You know, police say, though, that security has never been tighter than it is for this Thunder over Louisville. And actually, they used some new techniques. I don't know if that's the payoff or not, but they did use some new techniques for the security this year.
And our Stephanie Collins was out today keeping an eye on the police as they were keeping an eye on the masses.
24 floors above the crowd, city and county police are watching.
County, the guy trying to start the fight got on a yellow hat, no shirt. He's in front of the green spotlight.
Trouble is spotted. A man police believe is trying to pick a fight.
Now they're moving.
And so are police on the move.
They're approaching him now. That's him. They got him now.
They got him, and the cuffs are on. A quick arrest. Police say a fight averted. All captured on special TV cameras set up in 2 locations to keep an eye on the crowd.
We started this with the KKK rally, and we found that it was very beneficial in terms of tracking a crowd. And what we're able to do is basically look at the entire event, move them in, move them out if necessary, and track any type of event that might go on.
As the night goes on, the crowd gets bigger. Details of 5 police patrol their beat. Anything you're on the lookout for in particular?
Anybody that might be smoking marijuana, somebody may have had too much to drink, just troublemakers, groups of people causing problems. Usually in a crowd the size of this, it may only be 3 or 4 people causing problems. We try to get them right as they start and get them out of there as soon as possible.
No alcohol allowed, and checkpoint search and seize on the Belvedere.
Come on, let's go. You gotta come on down. You gotta come down. Let's go.
Police help move the crowds along. Once the show is over, their job really begins, getting everyone home safely. Stephanie Collins, Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11.
Thank you, Stephanie. And now we want to go to Lawrence Smith. He really has a great view of all the people who came down to the Belvedere and pretty much behaved themselves. Now going back out toward their cars and trying to get home tonight, Lawrence.
So we have a great view of wall-to-wall headlights. As far as the eye can see, headlights down Broadway. But despite that, the traffic is moving fairly well. The clash between the pedestrians who are trying to leave and the cars that are trying to leave is going pretty well. One reason for that, there are lots of TART buses standing by along the side streets this year. Last year there was a complaint that people wanted to take buses, but they were hard to find. But now they have buses standing by along the side of the road, some getting ready to head west, some east, and some south. So as people come down and cross Broadway, they can get on the bus and take off and go home. That's one new addition this year that's really helped pedestrian traffic move a lot smoother. So here at the corner of 4th and Broadway, although traffic is fairly heavy, things are moving very, very well. Police keeping a very, very good lid on the traffic coming in every direction. Back to you, Melissa.
Thank you very much, Lawrence, and I can hear Sky 11 overhead. We will get more from Sky 11 on this traffic jam, everyone trying to get home when we come back. We will also go to the 24th floor of the Galt House when our coverage of the aftermath of Thunder resumes. You can see they've popped a few champagne corks up there in celebration of this event, and Terry Miners will be talking to you from the command center when we return.
Dinner is served at the Derby Festival chow wagons.
We shall prepare a succulent meal while you and your loved ones enjoy the diversion of live entertainment on the Miller Talent stages. You're cordially invited to gather for joyous celebration of Derby Festival, featuring delectable morsels, melodious sounds, and an all-around agreeable experience. Your Pegasus sponsorship provides free admission with your 96 pin. Are you ready to rock, Kentuckiana?
What can you get for $69.95 at Kentucky Kingdom?
A whole summer's worth of thrills.
Elevator.
T2. Vampire.
Of course, our favorite, Hurricane Bay.
And what do you get for free?
Tubes. No charge for tubes.
Not a penny. All the rides.
Plus Friday night dances.
And Holostream.
All for just $69.95.
And don't forget, the tubes are free.
Zero. Only at the thrill park, Kentucky Kingdom.
Hurry, limited time offer.
Wayne, you won 5 Triple Crown races. Unbelievable. Is there a greater thrill than winning the Kentucky Derby?
Well, 2 back-to-back would be great, Paul.
Wayne, I know you're a big fan of Carriage Ford.
Paul, I like Carriage Ford. They take good care of their customers, and they've taken good care of me, too.
Wayne, you're right on the money. They were voted #1 in Kentuckiana for customer satisfaction.
That's Carriage Ford.
Highway 131, Clarksville.
That's a great place to buy a car or a truck.
Car. Take it slow. Everybody okay? Wait a minute, what's he doing? He wants more. Right there. Over there.
Diet Dr. Pepper, the taste you've been looking for.
There's a hunger on the highway, crunching down the road, blowing by those burgers.
Introducing Big Border Taco at just 99 cents.
It's a mother load.
We added more beef, more cheese, tons more crunch. In fact, the Big Border Taco's so big, we had to beef up our trucks.
There's nothing ordinary about it, Taco Bell.
Welcome back to continuous coverage of Thunder over Louisville from Kentuckiana's news channel, WHAS 11. This is Gary Rodemeyer with Melissa Swan. We've been here since 4 o'clock this afternoon, and we're taking our good old time getting home tonight, and we're showing you what's going on in downtown Louisville at the hour of 10:44 this evening as folks head out. You know, Command Central is sort of the nervous system for Thunder over Louisville, and we made sure that they stayed nervous all night.
And Terry Binders. Hello, Terry.
Melissa, we're trying to decide who gets the champagne. We're trying to decide who deserves it more, Wayne Hettinger, the producer, or Tim Creed, the director. Actually, we're into recycling up here now. It's the downtime after the end of the show. Are you feeling relieved, Wayne?
We are, except for the one flaw that we had in the show.
And I saw Tim Creed weeping openly here a few minutes ago. What happened? Tim said, right after we went off camera a few minutes ago, he said, "The show's a total failure."
Well, you know how it is. Wayne had one job that he had to do during
That's
the
really,
show.
he's a producer, it says right here.
And he just missed it.
He botched his job, and what would that be?
Well,
can we make up for it now?
Yes, we can make up for it now, right here. We're on live. Watch here.
Ready? In 5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Go.
We forgot to turn on. That's the bogus light that entrances all the people that come in. Jim, if you can get a shot of these people that stand over here. A lot of people come into the command center and they say, "Well, this is where the big button is," and they turn on the red light to make everybody think that that's actually part of the show, when in fact it's just a bogus deal, and that's your only job, Wayne, and you let us down.
There's no bogus in our life.
Next year, tie a string to your finger, all right? Congratulations, guy. Phenomenal show.
Thank you very much.
All right, back to you, Melissa. Gary. All right.
Thank you very much, Terry. And I tell you, without the little red light even, it was a great show. Congratulations to the producers of this show. It really was spectacular.
We know about little red lights. We talked to that one right over there, and if we don't see the red light, we don't talk.
Every day.
Well, our Barry Burnson is on the 2nd Street Bridge live tonight. He was lit up fairly well this evening. Barry, what's going on? I suppose it's calmed down a little there.
Yeah, we saw a whole lot of lights up here a little while ago. It was very, very exciting. You know, when you're about 10 or 15 feet away from one of these tubes, I mean, it's like you're trying to take over a third world country with major artillery. These are, of course, all empty now, and they'll come and clean these up. In fact, they tell us they're going to reopen the Clark Memorial Bridge to automobile traffic here about midnight. You can see right now, though, it's nice and quiet. Well, at least it's empty. One of the unsung heroes of Thunder over Louisville. Come on over here. Mike O'Connor, you're all the way from?
Chicago.
Now, you're in charge of all these big lights here. What's the deal?
Well, what we do is we're the quad unit. We run all the lights on the bridge all the way down. We have 8 units, and we're just in charge of the lights on the bridge and a lot of the balloons and inflatables in town.
What do these do in terms of candle power?
Well, that's 600 million candle power, about 150 million per beam, and they shoot up approximately about 10 miles. It's a concentrated, it's a new technology. It's a xenon bulb.
Xenon bulbs, that's the secret of Thunder over Louisville, at least the visual aspects of it. We may be up here until they start running the traffic again. Mike, good to see you.
Good to see you, Barry.
We'll see you up here next year.
Hey, we're going to fly over this next year in a hot air balloon. You're going with me.
All right, I'm there, baby. All right, back to you, Gary and Melissa.
All right, Barry, we'll xenon you later.
Thank you both very much. And, you know, before the fireworks show tonight, we saw 85 different aircraft fill the sky over the Ohio River in a phenomenal air show.
It was wonderful. Started at about 3:15 this afternoon, all part of the Thunder of Louisville air show, and Lawrence Smith gives us a look back at what was so exciting.
As the planes streaked overhead,
see him right there?
David Mudd had one of the best seats in the house, a few rows back on the Belvedere, on top of Dad's shoulders.
Here they come. Where are they going?
The Mudds joined thousands of others for a spectacular sun-splashed air show. For David and Dad, this is more than just a prelim for the fireworks show.
I like anything that flies, so I mean, I would love to be a pilot. But of course, I don't have the money for it, so it's not going to happen.
But it's a dream young David hasn't given up on. As the stunt planes fly by, he imagines what it must be like.
I was wondering what it feel like to be up there, and if you were nervous when you got up there. I know most people would be.
Nervous or not, David would love to be in the cockpit.
I think it'd be fun.
During the Korean process,
I'd like to do that falling leaf stunt or whatever. That'd be real fun.
But as the crowd marvels at the aerial acrobatics, David's buddy Jason is not so sure.
I think I'd rather try doing my stunts in basketball.
Lawrence Smith, Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11.
And we are looking down on us from the top of the Galt House, and that is how it looks, and also from other angles that we've been enjoying today. Interesting enough, you know, we were on the internet this afternoon. The Thunder over Louisville show was accessible on the World Wide Web tonight. We understand there were 4,400 people who logged on from someplace in the world, one as far away as Hong Kong, to access pictures of Thunder over Louisville that appeared for the first time on the internet. So
they couldn't see it continuous, but you could see still frames
of it,
of the different fireworks displays. So 4,400 people. That is really something.
You don't know where you're being seen.
No, you
these
certainly
days. Good.
do. And a lot of people got to see a spectacular view. Of course, the best view was live and in person down here. And we're going to show you some more of that traffic as people are trying to make their way home from this.
That's those same cars on 3rd Street.
I don't think they've moved an inch. And also we're going to give you a sampling of Thunder over Louisville, as we saw it just a bit earlier. And when that 2nd Street bridge explodes, it is phenomenal. Here's a look at that.
Host a TV show. We'll let you comment and host an evening of Louisville Tonight Live. It gets even better, so that you don't miss any work.
All right.
Our co-host Kirby Adams and Bob Sokoler will work your job for you.
Tougher than it looks.
If you're interested, watch WHAS 11 weeknights at 7:30 for complete details on what to do to become a local celebrity. Then get all your friends to watch. It could be a start of a whole new career. Trading Places, coming soon to WHAS 11.
Dee's Crafts takes off its hat to spring and then puts it back on. Dee's has hats for you to decorate. Or pick out a hat and decorations and we'll do it for you. Bring in your old hat and give it a new look for this year's outfit. The possibilities are endless and so are the styles. Tip a new hat and celebrate spring in style at any of Dee's Crafts 4 locations.
At the 5th Annual Great American Ford Sales Event, we're saluting great Americans who saved hundreds, even thousands, like Julie. During the 3rd Great American Ford Sales Event, she leased a 93 Taurus, and now she's trading it in for an all-new 96 Taurus for just $212 a month. Or she could have had $600 cash back or low 2.9% financing. Taurus, a great American value for $212 a month. And that's keeping the competition nervous. Hurry, the 5th Annual Great American Ford Sales Event all in soon at your local Ford dealer.
Hi, I'm Dick Akers with a tip from your Better Business Bureau. Are you planning a home improvement project this year? Get estimates and compare the quality of materials to be used as well as price. And check out companies with your BBB and Attorney General's office. Deal with locally established companies, not some stranger from another state operating out of a truck.
This message is sponsored by the following businesses.
They come at night, creeping, crawling, and if you've seen one, there are hundreds more. Roaches. You need the exterminator, the Orkin Man. Only he has the Orkin injection system that destroys roaches with more precision than ever. It wipes out roaches and makes sure they never return. Guaranteed. Call the exterminator, day or night, at 1-800-800-ORKIN. One call destroys them all.
Welcome back to our live coverage of Thunder over Louisville. This is Gary Rodemeyer with Melissa Swan, and here we are in an almost vacated Belvedere. Now we have this all to ourselves. Boy, these were
The
prized
lights are going out.
just moments ago. So it is time to set sail from Towboat Annie's, I would suppose.
Yeah, let's check in with Julie Koenig, who's over in Jeffersonville. Julie?
Well, Gary and Melissa, things have quieted down here in Jeffersonville as well. In fact, this is Kim. Kim and I have been on our feet for a good portion of the day, so we're going to put them up for a change. Kim, tell me, how has the day been from your perspective?
Busy. Very busy.
Now, you said there's about a dozen people who were serving almost 400 guests. How many plates of dinner did you serve tonight?
34.
34. And did you get to see the show at all?
Bits and pieces of it. In between, running back and forth, we'd stop and take a look.
Now, you say you've been through this for a few years. You worked at Towboat Annie's for 4 years. How did this Thunder compare to last year's?
I thought the end of it was bigger and better than last year and the year before that.
Yeah. So are you ready for Thunder 97?
Oh, yeah. It's always a fun day. It's just afterwards is the hard part of it.
Yeah, there's still a little cleaning up to do, and I bet you'd like at least one nap before we get ready for next year.
Great.
All right. Thank you very much, Kim. She's been great. She's been serving our table as well. Wonderful day, wonderful view in southern Indiana. We hope it was just as great over there in Louisville.
It was wonderful.
Thanks, Julie. Well, still folks on the way home, and among them, one of our own.
Jean West is out there with her children and her cell phone to tell us what this traffic is like. Jean, all we have seen to this point is stalled and stopped.
I got to tell you guys, I've never seen gridlock like this. It took us about 15 minutes to walk to the car from the Belvedere. We're parked on 5th Street near the station. It took us 30 minutes to move from 5th to 4th. I couldn't believe it. Gary mentioned earlier that it looked like Mardi Gras with a sea of people walking around. If you ever have been to Mardi Gras, you know that the people just kind of take over the streets, and that's what was happening. And the folks are walking in the middle of the street. The traffic officers are just kind of run over, standing there not quite knowing what to do. Cars are trapped in between people, and it is serious gridlock. Right now, we're heading south on 3rd Street, hoping that'll get us home quicker. We live right in the Highlands. Usually it takes me about 5 minutes to get home, but 30 minutes to go one block. So we're in serious gridlock here.
Gene, you are not going to make it home for the 11 o'clock news.
I think I'll have to listen to it from my phone. You guys.
Tell the boys to curl up and take a nap because it'll be a while before they get into their beds tonight.
Incidentally, you may not know this, but that's an actual representation of Jean's car. She drives a very small red car.
Yeah, right.
Which is a convertible, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
And
I'm lying, she has a van.
We are going to be giving you our 11 o'clock newscast in just a few minutes. We want to show you some more of those spectacular fireworks. Before we leave you, stay tuned. More news, more Gridlock, more of the aftermath of thunder just ahead.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Lifson. The News Channel continues its 8-hour team coverage of the opening ceremonies to the Run for the Roses. You're about to see more of tonight's Thunderstorms Hollywood show, and then come with us to Command Central for the seconds before the explosion, plus live traffic reports from Kentucky and from southern Indiana. First, though, we want to show you why more than 500,000 people flocked to the riverfront. Not only could you see it, but you could hear the thunder over Louisville.
Bridge. Go. Light on.
This one wins the Oscar for production value.
Life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
What did we get? A half an hour of ecstasy, and just like Hollywood, they left us with a big finish. Kind of leaves you breathless. It was an amazing show, and Gary Rodemeyer and Melissa Swan now join me. They were there for the whole shebang, and it was a shebang.
And it's always that Trinity Tower shot that is so spectacular when you can see all of downtown Louisville in the foreground and the fireworks beyond that. It's just a light.
Thunder at that point seems to dwarf the city, and I think many people agree tonight if one thing separated this fireworks display from the others that have preceded it, it was that tremendous roar and vibration at the end. They told us that they had put all of their considerable funds for additional fireworks into those big
the big ones.
Big shells that went off at the end. And it was a terrific finale. The finale to all of this day now is unfolding beneath us as we're watching traffic on the way home. Most of the gridlock occurring in the downtown streets. Some of the interstates, and you're looking at
doesn't look too bad,
at the road running at the 3rd Street Highway running right along there, the 3rd Street ramp. It seems to be running pretty clear, but getting out on the interstates is a little bit of a problem at this hour.
Chuck Olmstead is aloft in Sky 11 tonight to tell us how people are doing getting up on those interstates. Chuck?
I think whatever they're doing it very slowly, Melissa. You know, we've been talking about well over 500,000 people took part in viewing this. Let's take a look down here in southern Indiana right now. Take your pick, 10th Street, 4th Street, State Street. All of them pretty well filled with bumper-to-bumper traffic, illustrative of the more than 500,000 people on both sides of the river that came to enjoy this marvelous Thunder over Louisville show, and now the slow pilgrimage back home. As you look down, we're coming over I-65 in Jeffersonville. Traffic moving briskly on the highway, but as in so many locations, it's getting to the main arteries. It's the trouble now, as people who tried to park as close as they could to the river now must make that very slow journey and long wait to get back home. But it was well worth it for most people, although if they're here for another hour or so, they may scratch their heads and wonder if it really was. But that's the scene here in southern Indiana, like it is across on the other side of the river in 71 and 64 and River Road. It is slow going, but with patience, we'll all get back home. Live in Sky 11, this is Chuck Olmstead. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Chuck. You know, it is called Southern Thunder over Louisville, but southern Indiana has a lot to do with this. A lot of people prefer to go to that side of the river and watch. They say they can get a good spot over there, and they say they like to see the city of Louisville in the background of the fireworks. And so it's very much a whole Kentuckiana fireworks display and day.
Yeah, Donna Lacey spent this day in southern Indiana, and that's where we find her tonight. Donna, how's it going over there?
Gary, Melissa, the cleanup has begun, believe it or not, but that might be difficult to believe when you look at the mess that's here in Ashland Park in Clarksville, Indiana. You know those tornadoes that touched down in Kentuckiana earlier this morning? Well, it looks like one touched down here, but then after all, we did have some thunder rain down on us. One thing I noticed about covering the thunder over Louisville here in southern Indiana, the people hang around a lot longer after the show. It's as if they expect thunder to start up all over again. Something else I noticed, the view here in Ashland Park, it's the best. I was on the Belvedere last year. I thought that this view was a whole lot better than the view on the Belvedere. Splendid. Take a look at what the folks here in southern Indiana saw when thunder came a-raining down. This is how thunder came to life in the eyes of Hoosiers in southern Indiana. They clapped in the shadows of the fireworks. They danced, and it was more than some could believe.
I've been out of town. You can't beat it. Wonderful. The best fireworks we've ever seen.
The colors, well, it's just fantastic this year.
They only looked away for a minute to smile and wave to our camera. Then it was all eyes to the skies. These thunder addicts were hooked.
I loved it. It was great. It was excellent. We liked it. Yeah, we'll be back next year.
They all say, and hey, we were talking about the cleanup. Here's some fellas over here doing some cleanup, and it's a nasty job, but somebody's got to do it. So how did you guys get this job?
Well, we were selling, and we're going to be stuck here for a while because our boss has got to do like everything else, so we figured why not clean up, because there's like more than enough to go around.
Oh, so you're being the good Samaritan, huh?
That's trying to do what Jesus would do.
Oh, well, wonderful. Hey, thanks for talking with us. Well, in any regards, they are going to be working, if they're going to be cleaning up, definitely through the night and probably into the dawn. Melissa and Gary, it is not a pretty sight over here, but earlier, absolutely gorgeous.
Donna, I bet you are a rose among the thorns if it's not a beautiful sight over there. You look great. After a day long in southern Indiana on the shoreline over there.
And what nice young men to
that was terrific,
yeah,
wasn't it?
It sure was.
Really terrific. Another thought that I had about that. The good thing about thunder over Louisville is, from both sides of the river, is it brings us together into one community, even though we live in different states. Mm-hmm. Well, nowhere was the view of thunder better than from our own isolated, lonely bridge cam.
This is the newest addition to our Thunder over Louisville coverage. And you can see it has a terrific view. Even the reflection there from Bridge Cam is great. Only you at home got to see this part of the fireworks display. Bridge Cam sits high atop the 2nd Street Bridge, and that's the same bridge from where many of the fireworks were launched. And so you really got a great view there. That was the first time I was able to see what Bridge Cam did during the fireworks display.
Well, just like Donna Lacey experienced, Ann Jewell was out among the crowds today, and here is what she found on her trips up and down the riverbanks.
Well, Gary, it looks more like a landfill here than the prime viewing area that it is, but you know, everyone had a great time. And what were people willing to do to get these great seats on the Kentucky side? Well, check this out. They were willing to walk through this and stand in this and sit in this, but everyone here said it was worth it.
Go Big Blue!
That's one big blue flag flying by the Kentucky side of thunder.
Sounds like it's getting close to time. Look at the pretty lights up there.
Amber Jones came with her brother and mom and dad.
I'll be glad when they are big enough to hold me.
They loved the start of thunder.